Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm going to do another tool haul video. I asked my Patreons if they wanted to see my tool haul video, and they said, yeah, make the video. So here we are. I just came back from the Princess Auto, used a little bit of the sponsorship money and the Patreon money to get some tools. I don't make these videos often because I'll buy one here or there, but the sales were pretty good this time, so let me show you what I got. First one up is this here. They're called, I guess, metal brushes, but I don't think they're all metal. I've tried to order some of these from eBay before, but it never came in, so I got my money back a couple times. These are basically these pens, but they have kind of, I guess, abrasive materials in them. So you get one with like steel, one with like fiberglass, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And one with brass. So you would use these to like mostly like clean up. The reason I bought them specifically is to clean up battery contacts where batteries have leaked. But it's basically to do some fine sort of sanding or grinding. And as you can see, you can put more or less out here by turning the back here. These were $5 Canadian, but they're actually much more expensive online. So I was glad to find these in the surplus section. And the Princess Auto, if you don't know, it's like the Harbor Freight of Canada. So these things, not too special, but I'll get you a closer look. Hopefully I'm in focus here, but here you can see the yellow one is the brass. So there you've got something, it's quite soft for a metal. It's much softer than like steel or something. Here's your stainless steel. So that's like those grinding wheels you get. But yeah, this is for getting some real dingy stuff. And then for very soft stuff, you've got this fiberglass. I think it's fiberglass. It's like, yeah, it's very tight and kind of solid. It's not nylon for sure. Kind of looks like glass fibers. So I'll try not to stab my finger with one of these. But yeah, just for cleaning up little things. This is especially good for electronics, but it's good for lots of different stuff. I think YouTuber Pile of Stuff has a bunch of these too. I'm not sure where he got his, but you know, Princess Auto is where I got mine. Next up is a tire inflator with gauge. Now, when I do professional tire inflation, you know, we check the tire pressures whenever we do any service on any kinds of cars. I don't like these things. They don't last very long. They like break. Some people like them. I don't. I use the little air chuck and a little tire pressure gauge. Same kind of gauge you would find, you know, at the dollar store or something like that. I am not a tool snob by any means. However, I have a compressor at home. There we go. Jeez. However, I have a compressor at home, and I don't often check my tire pressures at home. You're supposed to check your tire pressures somewhere around once a week. But I'm just so lazy to just handle the two things, and it's cold outside. So typically I'll just do my tire pressures when I get to work type thing. But this thing here, I bought it so it reduces my reluctance. I'll just, you know, poke this in, go a couple times, and then it'll be up to pressure, and you can deflate using this here. So yeah. One of the big things I know about myself is if I lower the barriers to doing stuff, that's when I'll actually do stuff. So that's what this is. This was $7. If you look at these normally, they're somewhere around like 25 to 30 bucks. I think that's way too much money, especially since the little air chuck. I'm still using the original one I first bought when I started in the trade. So it's like 15 years old or more. And they're only like $2-3, and then the tire pressure gauge, I'm on my third or fourth, and they're only like $3 each. These things, they don't last very long. You drop them and, you know, all this is cast material. It's pretty cheap. But for home use, I think it should be fine. And plus, the beautiful thing about Princess Auto is that there are no questions asked. If this thing ends up being junk, I can just walk back up there. They'll take this right back, give me my money back, or give me another one. My choice. So yeah, I do need a little adapter here to go into my compressor. Might have some kicking around somewhere, but other than that, I think this thing is going to be useful. So yeah, wouldn't recommend them for 25 bucks or 30 bucks, but at $7, yeah, I think that's what I'm getting. On to the next one. Next up is the big ticket item. I've been looking for a set of Forstner bits, which are these. I'll show you what they are shortly. For a long time. They do go on sale. The two major places to get inexpensive tools for inexpensive prices here in Canada would be Canadian Tire, which is... I really don't know if there's an American equivalent to it. And Princess Auto, which is basically Harbor Freight. I've been looking for Forstner bits for a very long time. They go on sale for about $45 to $55, usually with fewer sizes than this. Unfortunately, these are imperial sizes. I wish they were metric, but you know, you can't get everything you want. I'm not quite sure what happened here, because it looks like the smallest size went flying over here. But anyways, what they do is these are usually for wood. And you use these, yeah, 1/4 inch, there we go. You use these to make a blind hole in something. So you can cut a hole in wood that doesn't have to go all the way through, and it grabs all of the material off of it. How it works is it has these like chisel ends. See, that's all chisel. That's extremely sharp. It's sharp, but it's like sort of rounded over. What do you call that when you have, you know, like the sharp edge is kind of like remaining, like the material that was here is actually up like that. It's bird. There we go. So basically the center here, it pokes into the wood, and then this is like two chisels going around, and it sort of forms a perfectly square hole, perfectly, you know, perfect edged hole without having to go all the way through like a regular hole saw will. Now the downside to that is you need an individual one of these bits for each and every size that you need. So this one here is quite the assortment. It goes from 1/4 inch all the way up to, over here would be the biggest one, 2 1/8 inch. And I paid $35 for this. So this is the cheapest I've seen a set of Forstner bits, and it's the most complete set of Forstner bits for that money on top of that. So yeah, these things are not for the faint of heart. If you use especially the big ones, if you're going to use them in your drill press, you're going to want to secure your workpiece, because these things will eat your wrist if you have it on a drill. So you want to use a drill press, and if you do use a drill press, you want to secure your piece, because if this grabs like a knot in the wood, it'll send the piece of wood flying. I have a project. I have a racing cockpit that I am designing to do sim racing, and I needed some of these, because the beauty of this is you can make sort of like a pocket in wood, and then because the point gives you your middle, you can then drill a through hole that's smaller than the hole, so you can sink the head of a bolt into the wood, or the head of a screw into the wood, and still have room to put a tool in there to work it. So these things are fantastic. I don't know if these work any, I don't know if they're any good. There are similarly priced ones on Amazon, but again, Princess Auto, I can just bring this right back to the store. No questions asked, they'll give me my money back if they're garbage. And that's kind of the fear I had. Maybe they'd be trash. So yeah, 35 bucks. It's not much of a risk. I doubt they're going to be bad enough that $35 won't be worth it, but been waiting for a set of these for a long time. Got them now. Can't wait to give them a shot. I'll probably, use them on Patreon or something, make a video on it on Patreon, then release it to the general public. much later because it's not really, doesn't really have much to do with my channel. I believe one of these sizes, is it 3/4 inch? One of these sizes is the right size to fit a skateboard bearing on top of that. So these things are quite useful, and I can't wait to give them a squiz. Alright. I couldn't wait, that means you don't have to wait. See if I can do this where you can see it. Hopefully it doesn't eat my wrist. Oh, it's too much torque. This battery is not liking it. This drill doesn't have a low speed, so if you had a low gear up here where you can switch the gears, then that would be a lot better. Just going to do a little bit more. But there you go. As you can see, it's a nice blind hole, and the sides of these are very smooth. Don't know if you'll be able to tell, but here's a skateboard bearing, and there you go. So this one's a little bit loose. So probably go, you can actually modify these things and actually trim them down a bit to get them a little bit smaller. But yeah, there you go. So like this, and then you could drill a couple holes here and here, put a screw in there just so the head touches the bearing. The bearing will be stuck in place, and then you put your moving part in there. On to the next one. Next one up, I didn't actually pay for. This is WD-40, but that gives me a chance to step on my soapbox and tell you that WD-40 is not a lubricant. Stop spraying it on your bike chains and stuff. This one is, however, a WD-40 branded penetrating oil, and I'll tell you, penetrating oils also don't freaking work. If you watch Eric O at South Main Auto, I think he says it the best. You spray this stuff on, specifically the penetrating oil, rust release or whatever you want, and it makes you feel better, but it doesn't do anything. So as a professional automotive guy, if the fastener is too rusted to get out, you use the torch. I never ever used penetrating oil in my career. It doesn't work. I've never used it professionally, unless the the threads are sticking out the other side. Then you would use a lubricant. You would clean off the threads that are sticking out from the bolt. You clean them off with a wire wheel or wire brush or something like that, and then you would spray a lubricant on, not a penetrating oil. So when you zip the bolt out, it's a lot easier to come out. But other than that, penetrating fluids, they don't friggin' work. This one here, I think it's just gonna, sit around in my garage. I'm probably gonna give it away to someone. But yeah, WD-40, the classic stuff, not a lubricant. It's a solvent. You can use it to clean. It doesn't lubricate. And this thing here, penetrating fluid, if I had a good way to prove to you it doesn't work, I would. But, you can probably just go check out AVE did a video on this, and she don't work at all. Maybe Project Farm did a video too. So check those out. Don't waste your money on this kind of stuff. This was a freebie, came with the order. And last but not least, as a functional hoarder, can I zoom out more? Oh, I can zoom out a little bit more. This is a massive thing of plastic bins. 30 of them, I think so. Kind of like small bins and even smaller bins. And these were $15. So finally they got, at a reasonable sale. And I'll show you what's inside, but it's basically a rack that mounts on the wall. And then the bins I am setting up my kind of dirty workshop so I can show you things like alternators and starters, and I've got a big battery charger I can show you too. So all those things will have to go in the dirty shop. I'm setting them up. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, then in about a month you're going to see some of the setup videos for that. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Put the small bins inside the big bins. But yeah, I've got two of these. I think one might come into my clean shop and the other one will go into the dirty shop, or both might go in the dirty shop. Haven't decided yet. But it's basically these little plastic bins. They're quite small. You can keep little things in there and then bigger things in here. I was thinking it might be nice for Arduino projects to put everything for that one specific project in a bin, put a label on it, and be done with it. And then the backing is this plastic piece here. I'm gonna probably assemble this, take it all out, and show you what it looks like in a photo, you know, down below, down there. I'm always looking for storage solutions. You need some large storage, some medium storage, some small storage like this. And so if your shop doesn't have all of those, then you have stuff that is, you know, sort of unfettered. So these things will make a great addition, I hope. And since I got two, I think all the hooks are the same distance apart, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they're not. So if if I can, I'll put all the small ones on top, all the big ones on the bottom. And if I can't, well, I'll figure something out. No, it looks like it's all different. So it'll all be the big ones, the small ones all go, at the bottom here, and the big ones on top, or vice versa. So yeah, gonna set this up, and yeah. Well, spoiler alert, they both came broken. The vacuum packing, or the heat shrink, plastic heat shrink, bends them up, and it broke this thing off. And this is the one at the bottom that holds the bigger tubs. So I could return it, but the problem is I don't actually want to go back. I mean, we have a new Rona strain going around. I tried gluing it with the crazy glue. It didn't work. I think this might be some sort of ABS. So I don't think that's going to work. Maybe I'll try with epoxy. I don't know. But either way, that's the tool haul for today. Might end up bringing these back, but it won't be after Christmas. Today's the 24th, so it won't be until after Christmas, and yeah, who knows at that point. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you to my Patreon patrons who send me money, which means I can get organized and see if I can make videos more efficiently. I'll catch you in the new year. Thanks for watching.